Hello everyone and welcome. This is my final project for social media practices, and this is my social media pitch for Duke Farms. So Duke Farms is an estate that was established by J.B. Duke. Located in Hillsborough, New Jersey, the property is currently managed by the Doris Duke Foundation. Doris Duke was J.B. Duke's daughter, and she was the second owner of what we know as Duke Farms. Um, This estate's history is super cool, and after changing hands and being reorganized, the farms as we know it was open to the public in 2012. They currently have a couple of pillars that they align to. They're really active in habitat restoration, agroecology, sustainability, and community. Duke Farms' current social media looks like this. So they have a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Their Facebook acts as their primary social media channel with a little over 18,000 likes. This serves as the primary contact to the public. It's updated almost daily with events, announcements, evergreen content, and the hours. So just recently we had some pretty bad snowstorms over here, and so they would update it with hours and say, hey, we're closed, or hey, we're going to have a delayed opening. So that's their main touch point to their visitors. They also have an Instagram. This has nearly 7,000 followers. It's updated almost daily, and what I like about their Instagram channel is that it's a mix of event content, evergreen content, and user-generated content. So they're pulling from many different places, then they're trying to get the visitors involved and showcase, what beauty they're able to capture there. Their Instagram has a great mix of photo, video, live, and story content. I feel like out of all of their platforms, Instagram is currently where they're paying the most attention to content, and I think that this is going to serve them very well in the long run. They also have a Twitter, which is, nearing 3,000 followers. The people who manage this page interact with Twitter multiple times a day, which is really good because, as we know, Twitter is a microblogging site, and you really want to be able to interact, quite frequently so that you can maintain visibility. They retweet content from other organizations, and they also like and share information pertinent to their audience. So let's say if there's news about something going on within ecology or something going on about sustainability, they'll bring that to light and share articles and things like that. So it's really helpful. They also have a YouTube, almost 2,000 subscribers. However, this platform isn't exactly as finessed as the rest of them. It seems like in the past year they've taken a more serious approach to this channel, and they use this platform to really talk about their conservation environmental work. They have this thing called the Eagle Cam. Bald eagles actually nest in Duke Farms, and so they set up cameras that overlook the nests, and they sort of document the journey of these eagles. It's really cool. They have live streams, so they're also doing live streams on YouTube, which is great, and they're keeping up with what people would want to see. The voice of Duke Farms, after looking at their page, I would say that their brand personality is really approachable, humorous, positive. It's very localized because, again, it's in Hillsborough, New Jersey, which is, kind of like a suburbia, kind of like a rural. It doesn't really have like a one type of feel. And because they talk about, different local businesses, it's very localized. They're informative because they want to inform the public of all of the great things that they're doing in the sustainability ecology space. So anything that they do provide, it's in an approachable manner. So if you don't have, the greatest background on these things, you'll be able to easily understand. After sort of taking out those key points of brand personality, I've summed up their brand voice as Duke Farms' voice should emulate that of an enthusiastic educator. Friendly and informative, they are always ready to provide answers to questions, no matter how trivial the question may be. Rooted by their unique origins and mission, Duke Farms works to excite others and convert them to their cause. Positive and uplifting, Duke Farms knows the power of a helping hand. Supporting other local organizations and businesses are a priority. For the best impact, Duke Farms should concentrate on maintaining a consistent and colloquial voice that emphasizes their passion for their community and history. So this turns us to the ask. So we were tasked to create a social media strategy for a campaign, and this could have been, a product launch. This could have been a big announcement, and so my sister actually works at Duke Farm seasonally as a barista, and we are very familiar, with the staff there and what they're currently doing. And I got wind this week that they're going to actually be revamping their menu. So Duke Farms is going to be revamping their menu offerings at the Farm Barn Cafe where my sister works. As it's the only eatery on location, it's imperative that they advertise their new menus to their community. So from what I've heard, there's going to be one weekday menu and one weekend menu. And of course, both of these menus offer locally sourced, organic, sustainable ingredients, and all of the recipes are seasonal and crafted in house by Chef Josh. We know Josh personally, he's great at what he does, and so it's kind of really fun to be able to do this as a project. Maybe they'll even take me up on it, I don't know, but let's get into it. So the campaign goals. So I've sort of outlined three overall goals of or objectives for this campaign. So we want to inform the visitors, staff, and volunteers about the two new menu offerings. This is a little bit of a unique situation. So really getting the fact out that there are two menu offerings is key. We want to emphasize Duke's use of locally sourced, organic, sustainable ingredients. This again ties back to their mission, and it shows that they are really committed by using their own sustainable ingredients within the food that they provide people. And then that leads us down to the third aspect of promoting healthy eating and making nutritious food more accessible to their visitors. A lot of places will use the cheaper option just because it's easier to buy, more people like it. But Duke's approach is to really localize and make it nutritious, delicious, and also memorable. There has been a lot of things on the menu that I've had there that I've never even tried before. So I feel like they're doing a great job there. And I just made a little bit of a note to the side. Social media will really drive this campaign because social media is the way that Duke's primarily interacts with the public. It's not really going to drive any other marketing or communications based things because social media is all of that for them. As sort of a nonprofit, they don't really invest in those other areas. Yeah, they have signage when you go there, they have brochures, but ultimately, social media is their one stop shop. They recently did a website revamp, so maybe in time it'll drive more traffic there, but let's see where that goes. And then I also had some goals that we want to reach. So I think that a 30% increase in weekday customers in the first month of the new menu launch is obtainable. Attainable, I should rather say. I'm looking for a 10% CTR to the new menu PDFs, a campaign goal engagement rate of around 8%, and I want to be able to see if we could sell out of the new burgers in the first week. So burgers are going to be something that they only do during the weekdays because they take longer to cook and they're more expensive. So that's why I want to see an increase in the weekday customers and the sellout of burgers. I think we can make it happen. So the target audience. So Dukes has a really awesome target audience, I think, because their demographics are wide and they're wide is the best way to say it, I think. So between the ages of 25 to 65, there is an even dispersion of ethnic backgrounds. My sister working there has made note that people of all different walks of life come. There isn't one set person. Many of them are tourists, and that's why. However, locals like my family are repeat visitors because it's such a nice place to sort of get away. The majority of the visitors are parents or they have large families. When you go to Duke's, people love to go in groups because it's almost like a family outing. It's very peaceful, and people want to be able to share that experience with others. The psychographics. So people enjoy history, the outdoors, and taking day trips. This is key because, again, Duke's is rooted within a deep history, and the majority of their offerings has to do with the gardens. Doris Duke was a botany enthusiast, and she kept many different orchids and plants and trees. So the majority of the interest lies within those. People who visit Duke's also believe that exercise and healthy eating are very important. Joggers, bikers, people who, want to do yoga outside in the middle of the day, they're really a target audience there. And also those who have an eco-friendly mindset and they enjoy supporting the local community. Some of the pain points that they have is that they think that the farm barn's food offerings are too expensive. Sometimes you need to remember that food is expensive, especially ones that are organic, that you are locally sourced, because again, you're supporting the labor, you're supporting the small businesses behind it. So really being able to speak to why they're a little bit pricier is something that they need to do in this campaign. A lot of them are also unaware of Duke's Farm's commitment to the environment. Um, so it's also another thing that we have to talk about because things are made in small batches and they're also very seasonal. So they don't, grow stuff that isn't seasonal and they don't import stuff that's not seasonal. And another pain point is that these people don't usually interact with Duke Farms enough to be excited about the menu change. Um, People who are local like me would be excited about it because we go there all the time. I probably go to Duke's maybe once a month or something like that. So I personally would be excited, but those who are the majority, who are just visitors and maybe go, twice a year, if that, wouldn't be as excited. So we have to formulate some buzz around it without having, all of those people who are actively knowledgeable about it. My channel plan for this campaign. So I'm going to segment it like this. For Facebook's, we're going to have a general menu announcement post. We're going to drive to the menu PDF so people know what they're going to get, what's sort of new there. We're going to tie back to the organic, locally sourced ingredients, and most of the imagery here is going to be static posts. On Instagram, however, we're going to have an emphasis on video and story content. The goal is to increase potential visitors. I think that, food content does really, really well on Instagram. So if we can hit it off here, we're probably, making some conversions along the way. We want to show rather than tell. And we want to zero in on the health conscious audience that sort of lingers within Instagram. On Twitter, we're going to use this platform to serve consistent jabs, so these casual little reminders about the new offerings, and we're going to have heightened activity around the weekends and evenings because this is the time when people check their Twitter and make those posts more meaningful. Lastly, I've actually created a content calendar, so if you're interested, please see the content calendar pull out in my blog post, or if you're viewing this whole PDF, you can click the link down below and actually view my Google Doc. So this includes posts for, again, the channels I just mentioned, and it gets into how I think their brand voice should be, how they should hashtag, organize their posts, and what I think the imagery should be. So please check that out and let me know what you think. Thank you so much.